So you know how a few weeks ago we talked about Jeffree Star getting into some yak drama and you guys were like, yak drama? Well, Jeffree has once again found himself in a yak scandal, and this time people are actually mad. It's a mess, so let's get into it. So, in the last year, Jeffree has made some major changes to his lifestyle. He went from living in this huge mansion in Calabasas with all the famous and rich people to living in the middle of nowhere, Wyoming on a yak ranch. Jeffree grew up in California, and that's where he really grew his business. He had this crazy life with huge makeup warehouses and mansions next to the Kardashians. So when Jeffree announced that he was officially moving to a ranch, people were kind of surprised. Now, this all happened shortly after Jeffree got into probably one of the biggest dramas of 2020, and a lot of people turned on him. Both Jeffree and Shane went from being so well liked during that whole conspiracy palette era to probably having one of the biggest and hardest downfalls. Then, at the end of 2020, Jeffree announced that he actually bought a ranch in Wyoming. Now, this was just supposed to be a second home, and he was actually planning on staying in Calabasas. He was always flying back and forth, and a lot of people were kind of confused about the whole situation. It really seemed out of the norm for Jeffree to move to a state where, one, he doesn't know anyone, it's in the middle of nowhere, there isn't that much to do apparently, and it isn't anything like what he's used to. Some people thought Jeffree was just trying to copy the Kardashians. He's always getting called out for trying to copy them, and everyone knows Kanye has a ranch in Wyoming. People were saying that Jeffree was just trying to keep up with the appearance of being some rich cosmetics owner that can have anything the Kardashians have. Other people thought it had a little more to do with taxes. That's honestly what I thought. I figured he was just gonna stay mostly in California, but keep his cheaper ranch to lower his taxes. But then Jeffree really confused everyone when he announced he was actually moving to Wyoming full-time and selling his Calabasas house. Jeffree moved full-time to this ranch and actually turned into a yak farmer. He's been posting pictures walking with yaks, hugging yaks, patting yaks, and even driving tractors. If you had told me this time last year that Jeffree Star was turning into Farmer Jeff, I definitely wouldn't have believed you. Like, Jeffree is legit a yak farmer. He's been very invested in those animals. He made an Instagram account for his yak farm called Star Yak Ranch, and it's just filled with tons of pictures of him and all his yaks. Now, it really felt like Jeffree was putting his old life as a beauty guru and makeup creator aside for these animals. He's not really putting out that much content, he isn't tweeting as much, and he hasn't been in any drama. He still does release makeup, but even those launches are starting to be yak themed. Jeffree just announced that he's dropping a Star Yak Ranch collection, and it's apparently completely centered around his new life as a farmer. Now, the yaks are cute and all, but a lot of people have been kind of confused about what his intentions with the yaks are. Are they just his new version of Pomeranians? Like, what's going on? Well, the other day, Insider released a story titled, "Jeffree Star raises yaks on a ranch in Wyoming after leaving his life of luxury in Los Angeles." The article talks about Jeffree's new life and the things that he's been doing in Wyoming. As for the yaks though, even Insider is confused, writing, "Star has posted nearly 24 pictures of his yak herd on social media, oftentimes cuddling up to them, but he hasn't made it clear what his purpose is for raising yaks. He has documented himself going to local markets where yak farmers sell yak wool and yak meat, but Star doesn't appear to have a yak associated business yet." Then, a few days later, they posted yet another article, but this time it was titled, "Jeffree Star moved from an LA mansion to a ranch in Wyoming where he raises yaks. Here's how his journey unfolded." In this article, Kat actually goes more into the whole yak situation and even shows a trademark filing for Star Yak Ranch. Star Yak Ranch was filed under a lot of categories, such as natural fiber and natural fiber from yaks, clothing, pet food, edible pet treats, live animals, butcher shops, butchering, breeding, and stud services for yaks. The article goes on to say, according to the public filing, Star plans to sell natural yak fibers, clothing, edible pet treats made from yaks, butcher shops and butchering services, and breeding and stud services for yaks. A lot of people were kind of upset after reading this article. People were saying, like, how could Jeffree have these yaks that he calls majestic and loves and hugs, and then go on to sell them for meat? A big issue people seem to have was the fact that his brand, Jeffree Star Cosmetics, is vegan, yet he's filed to sell yak meat. One person tweeted, "So his cosmetics brand being vegan had nothing to do with his own morals since he's now going to supply butcher shops? I'm not even a vegetarian, but this really rubs me the wrong way." But at the same time, I think Jeffree has been pretty clear with the fact that he's never been vegan. I mean, his favorite food for years was Taco Bell, and he pretty much lived at fast food restaurants. His cosmetics line was only vegan because it opened up his products to a wider audience. It had nothing to do with his own morals. Another person said, "Does no one understand what a working ranch is? Yaks are bred, butchered for meat, and used for their fiber. Jeffree Star is not just a name, it's a business. He's not gonna have an open field with a bunch of yak ornaments." But it still was kind of upsetting for people, especially because Jeffree has been so vocal on social media about how much he loves his yaks. He's been making yak plushies and makeup and even naming them. Well, I guess this article made its way over to Jeffree because he jumped on Snapchat and had something to say about it. He said he normally doesn't address rumors anymore, but he's seen tons of people on Twitter spreading lies and misconceptions about his Star Yak Ranch.
I went on Twitter, and there's a lot of people making up some shit, which I've dealt with a lot, but let me straighten out the lies and misconceptions, Miss Girl. I recently trademarked Star Yak Ranch in every single category that you could do for raising animals, just because you want to always protect yourself in business. So let's say I trademark it for yarn, cheese, breeding, butchering, etc. It doesn't mean I'm doing any of those things. It just means I don't want anyone to be able to take my trademark in those categories, which people have done before. So I'm just protecting myself. So I guess a few stragglers are trying to spin up a fake story that I'm doing this and I'm doing that. Y'all, relax. When I'm laying on a yak and I name them, nothing is happening to them except brushing them, loving them, and feeding them. Anything else that y'all making up in your head, it's not real. So you silly making up rumors, please take this soundbite and correct yourself. But yaks are such majestic creatures. There's been so many questions about what am I doing with them? What are they for? Are they for pets? Am I killing them? You guys, you will see in the video, and they're majestic creatures. They've really helped ground me.
So it looks like Jeffree's yaks are safe from being made into Pomeranian treats for now. I think at most, maybe he'll drop some kind of yak hair related product because he replied to someone on Twitter and said, "You can brush the hair/fiber off and make amazing things with it. Google it for fun. Yaks are fascinating and amazing." Maybe he's planning a yak hair makeup brush line or something. Honestly, who knows, but at least it wouldn't hurt the yaks. Anyways guys, let me know what you think about everything down below. If you liked the video, hit the thumbs up button because it really does help my channel, and I'll see you next time.